Hi, my name's Tony. I'm a medic. I've been a medic for 25 years, and just covering something that most of us don't think about. The first thing when you arrive on a patient is address any immediate life-threatening conditions. For example, we all know if they're life-threatening bleeding, stop the bleeding. If they're not breathing, address that. If they're in a vehicle that's on fire or something like that, get them out, and so on. Something I don't think a lot of us think about is the ground. And I'll give an example. One day we're called to a domestic violence call, and my partner and I were in the ambulance, and as we approached the stop sign, which was just about 50 feet away from the incident itself, we saw a police officer interviewing a person who had the complaint. While he was interviewing her, she passed out. She passed out right there on the ground, and it was basically, it wasn't white concrete like this here, it was like the red kind of clay surface, and just flopped on the ground. We pulled up just a few seconds later, and it occurred to me that it's about 95, maybe 100 degrees outside. This was just in Hemet, and she was burning. She was fat and she had flimsy clothes on, and my partner and I immediately moved to try to get her off the ground, and we couldn't. We got the police officer to help us, and the fire engine pulled up shortly afterwards, and we immediately the first thing was to get her off the ground and onto a backboard or onto the gurney, whatever we could. In this case, we did get on the gurney. Her time on the ground was no more, I would say, than 90 seconds. It was a very quick moving call. That was like our first thing. And by the time we got to the hospital, she developed second and third degree burns along the backs of her legs, butts, and shoulder blades. So, and that in addition to the seizure, whatever it was that caused her to pass out. So in your mind, keep in mind that if you see a person on the ground, especially if it's on the concrete or asphalt, and it's summer or warm, burning is a real issue. A couple things you can address is, say it's just you and your partner and you have a patient and they're on a sidewalk, roll them onto the grass. The grass is going to be much, much cooler. Just a quick reference, looking at a chart, if the outside air temperature is 85 degrees, and this is considering it's sunny, the temperature of concrete will be 105, and asphalt or road surface will be up to 130 degrees. If it's 97 degrees outside, which is pretty much almost everywhere in the summer, concrete will get up to 145 degrees, and asphalt will be up to 150 degrees. And we have had cases in the desert where it's 110, 120, where people have had fourth degree burns, literally melted off their feet to the bone from walking barefoot on asphalt.